Thank you, John. Hello again, everybody, for this final game of 2013, the second and final meeting. Nashville won 2-0 at Detroit in the middle of November. The goaltenders are brought to you by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. And it's the return of Jimmy Howard, his first in 9 games, who said, "I'm excited and I'll bring the excitement into the dressing room." Marek Mazanec, 6th-round pick in 2012, had his first NHL shutout. It came against Detroit November 19th when he made 27 saves. First of 2 shutouts he has in the NHL. Pekka Rinne, the #1 man, still about a month away from returning or so. Tim Peel, Chris Rooney, the referees. Game 41, the halfway point of the season for the Red Wings, and we're underway as Patrick Eaves starts up front in place of Daniel Alfredsson, who is a late scratch, and the official word from the Red Wings is it's an upper body injury. As Eaves starts with Helm and Abdelkader. As Darren Helm is back into the lineup, his first in 12 after that sprained left shoulder injury. It's into the corner as the Predators play one ahead. Quincy had moved in on it. It goes over his stick. He'll race back to get it, along with #7, Matt Cullen. Abdelkader for Detroit. Carries ahead to center. The puck is knocked away, and Weber goes back to get it. Darren Elliott joining me here in the booth for this game tonight, as that pass missed, and it'll be icing in the faceoff coming back into the Nashville zone.
Take a look at Coach Mike Babcock. He thought he was going to be able to put a line together with all speed, but that went by the boards with Alfredsson being out. Take a look at the longest tenured coaches. Mike Babcock creeping up on Barry Trotz, who's been here since day one.
Puck behind the goal for Weber. His pass for Hornquist was too far, and it'll be another icing. Brendan Smith on defense once again tonight. His partner Nick Kronwall. And there's a look at the longest tenured coach and the only man ever behind the Nashville bench, Barry Trotz.
Well, you remember, as I do, Barry Trotz, when he got here, there was no gray in that goatee. Now there's nothing but gray.
Yeah, and he's been feeling a little heat this year. I think some more is expected, but Nashville's biggest problem certainly is a lack of offense. 29th in goals scored. Only Buffalo has scored fewer goals, and they're 24th defensively, and part of that can go to no Pekka Rinne.
Well, and on the offensive side of things, their power play has been markedly better. 7th in the National Hockey League. At 5-on-5, they have struggled.
Fired back into the zone by Matthias Ekholm, the 23-year-old rookie. Moved by Kronwall out to center. Yurko's got it. Yurko out along with Nyquist and Zetterberg, who goes off in a change. Gustav Nyquist in there to get it to the far side, and first is Colin Wilson. Wilson to the line. It didn't get out. It's loose. Hustling over to get that puck went Nyquist, who will go off in a change now. Ekholm handled it, backhanded it ahead. And on another try, it goes to Seth Jones, the rookie, the 4th overall pick. He sent one ahead. They score! Wilson!
Colin Wilson, Boston University product. I played with his dad in the 1984 Olympics. He shot the drooper. It was the drifter. And if you're a goaltender who hasn't played, you want the first touch to be clean. Colin Wilson made it anything but clean for Jimmy Howard, who misses. I talked to him this morning, and he said he just wants to get in there and play. It'll be all about tracking the puck. Couldn't track the drooper from Wilson. 1-0 for the Preds.
First shot on goal for either team, and Nashville with the lead. The second consecutive game, they have a 1-0 lead. They've gone the previous 5 without getting the first goal. And when they score first, they have been very good. Coming off a victory over the Los Angeles Kings. And when they had scored in the first period against LA, it was the first time in 22 games the Kings allowed a first period goal, and it was last game here for Nashville when Mike Fisher was the hero in the 3rd period with a couple.
It was his first game-winning goal for Fisher, and it was his first multi-goal game of the season. And even though they scored first, they needed some late heroics from Fisher.
Puck is loose to the corner and taken by Cullen. Gets hit by Abdelkader. Turned over. Miller with a good play. And the puck is knocked aside by Marek Mazanec. Abdelkader gets to the puck along with Helm. He scores! Oh, what a beautiful goal! Justin Abdelkader's tied it up 3 minutes into the game.
And as you can hear in the background, lots of Red Wings supporters here in Smashville, as they call it. Good forecheck. Abdelkader, big body. Gets it to Miller. He puts it on net. The stick-to-itiveness in the corner. Both Abdelkader walks it out. Roof job. And that is a beautiful forehand to backhand move by Abdelkader. Abdelkader and Helm look like they should be line mates for life. One with the big body, they can both skate. We thought Jurco would be with them, but with the injury, the lines have been juggled a little bit. No matter, Abdelkader on the board.
66 seconds after Wilson scored from Jones and Fisher at 1:54.
What an answer, Kenny. That's huge.
This game is all even at 1. Nashville has 1 shot, 1 goal. The Red Wings have 2 shots and 1 goal.
Justin Abdelkader, we talked this morning to him, and he just loves playing with Darren Helm. And today's game is not about lines. It's about pairs. And you revolve that third line mate with them, depending on who's going and what the matchups might be. Or injuries, as continues to be the case here tonight with Daniel Alfredsson, a late scratch.
Another icing indicated here in this line. Datsyuk with Tatar and Bertuzzi was the line that was scheduled to go as Mike Babcock had mixed things up. And as he was saying, as you talked about, with Helm and Abdelkader and was to be Jurco, he said, I've got 3 great skaters all on one line and with speed. I don't know if that's a good thing, but as it turns out, he's not going to find out because he's had to change everything up now.
Sure, I was looking forward to seeing that line, and we'll see it in the future. It was going to be a huge opportunity for the youngster Jurco because that line makes sense.
And as soon as they came out for the skate this morning, we were all in the seats watching, and we all said, that's an interesting group. Here's Bertuzzi back of the net with Tatar and Datsyuk. Bertuzzi holding off, got it through to Datsyuk. Scored one of the greatest goals you'll ever see in this building. Season ago, Tatar's got it. Moving in was Smith. Kronwall fires it around. The defenseman Smith's in deep. It goes off a skate. He'll have to hustle back and not get trapped, and Kronwall's over to pick it up. Kronwall 7th in NHL defense points with 26. Tatar with a shot sailed wide of the right-handed catching netminder Mazanec. One of just 3 currently playing in the National Hockey League who catch with that hand. Out at center for Anderson. He'll send it in there along with the toothless Daniel Cleary, who's without 10 of them. Anderson gives him the puck back. Quincy throws one across, and the shot by DeKeyser off the backboards. DeKeyser didn't last long in the first meeting with Nashville. Here's Quincy with a shot that got blocked in front.
After getting shut up by Mazanec, it's nice to break the kid's confidence and streak, because that can play into it as well. A guy gets confidence against an opponent. Looks a little bit shakier back there than when we saw him in Detroit.
So both teams in the midst of changes here. Play just over 5 minutes. Glad you're with us. Ken Daniels, Darren Elliott, Justin White, and our Fox Sports Detroit crew with you. Second half of our hockey doubleheader after watching the Marlies in the shootout win over the Griffins. Came loose side of the goal. They jam away at it, and Howard gets a glove on it, and he'll hold on to that.
Now it's time for our AT&T U-verse reverse. And it's just what you were talking about, Kenny. The Datsyukian Deke, as you coined it, like none other. Last year, end-to-end, all 5 guys, plus Pekka Rinne, Pavel Datsyuk, end-to-end. You got to be kidding me. Wow. Never get tired of seeing that play.
And on DetroitRedWings.com, Red Wing fans voted that the goal of the year. Pavel Datsyuk has scored a lot of points against these Nashville Predators.
Catfish on the ice. Yes. Datsyuk on the bench.
In Nashville, it is catfish. That's right. Pavel Datsyuk, just 2 points shy of 800 in his illustrious career.
2 helpers last game.
The all-time leader in points against Nashville.
Yeah, they've probably seen enough of him. There's the big board. Wow, what a career.
Very nearly at a point per game pace. Drew Miller has the lone assist on the Abdelkader goal. Last shot took a whack at it on defense with Kindle. No icing on, they say that was tipped. As Jones got in front, oh, a big collision as Nashville nearly miscued there, and the puck wound up in the back of their goal. Predators brought it back in. Bork over here to Stahlberg, and Howard will hold on.
Seth Jones is a fabulous player for his age. Then you got the young goaltender, Mazanets. All kinds of chaos and confusion back there.
It was Ekholm.
It was actually
he collided
Ekholm, yeah.
with. He's 23 years old. He won the 2012 Börje Salming Award for the Swedish Elite League's top defenseman. And the year prior to that, he was Rookie of the Year in the Swedish Elite League, award Henrik Zetterberg had previously won. Into the slot, stepping up was Brendan Smith to prevent a shot on goal. Mike Fisher over to get it. Checked there by Zetterberg. Henrik Zetterberg to pick it up, and the Red Wing captain carries ahead. He had a power play goal on Saturday, played 21 minutes and 43 seconds in his return.
Eased him in, did he, Coach Babcock?
Yeah, really. And Mike Babcock is wondering about that tonight and how much Darren Helm is going to play. We'll see as this game goes along. He was sure great in his first return from injury, and Edmonton scoring on his second shift. In back of the net for Hornquist. Rubber on top for Wilson. And Howard's got that. Beat me once, but not twice, as Jimmy Howard holds on.
Big save for Jimmy Howard.
So we are in a 1-1 tie here at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville. First Wilson and then Abdelkader. It's the Motor City in the Music City, and we're tied at 1 early on in this game. Better late than never to see your smiling face on Kramer here with the Red Wings hockey from Nashville. Better late than never for Henrik Zetterberg too. After missing the 11, gets back in, was terrific against Florida and carrying on tonight.
He was the do-all guy. I mean, here he was, 65% in the faceoffs, took 11 for 17, 3 shots on goal, 21-43 time on night. Oh, he scored. Without him, they only scored more than 3 goals once. They're going 3-6-2. They scored more than 3 goals. He scored, and they won. He is the captain for a reason.
And he had a maintenance day the day after that game. He was saying it was his groin, not his back. And again, Daniel Alfredsson out tonight. And the official word from the Red Wings is upper body. He'd been plagued by some groin problems earlier this season.
When you play 21-42 and you haven't played in 11, yeah, you get a maintenance day.
Yeah, that's right. Slapped ahead. Datsyuk couldn't pick it up. But racing in after, what a pass across. Oh, and Bertuzzi just missed. What a feed by Thomas Tatar to Todd Bertuzzi, and the Red Wings were that close to being out in front in this game.
I like Bertuzzi's idea to shoot it off the pass. He just wired it wide.
Again, fathers and Todd Bertuzzi's son Tag watching him here tonight as the father's trip continues, and they'll watch everybody outdoors at the Big House on Wednesday.
Here's the play you talked about, Kenny. Your original call, exactly right. Tatar, little peek. Bertuzzi's there. Maybe Mazanet's got just a piece of it or hit the base of it. Look at Bertuzzi shaking his head. He knows he missed it. I talked to him this morning, having his son here tagging along, no pun intended.
No pun intended, right.
He said it's the best trip ever. That would have made it even more special, I'm sure.
Tag's an 01 birthday, playing with the Little Caesars.
They're off to the Pee Wee Quebec tournament in February, one of the biggest tournaments in the world, and what a special time for Pee Wee hockey players.
Backhanded in by Anderson to Miller. Clary, the other member of this unit. Clary turns in the corner with it. Clary trying to come out front. He couldn't do it. Daniel Clary saying he's only 12 of his original teeth left in his mouth. Clary's got it. Fed one in front that Anderson just couldn't catch up to. Last shot to the other side, and in goes Patrick Eaves. Didn't want to come into the lineup the way he did, but happy to be in for sure for Eaves with the Alfredsson injury. As it's backhanded in by Eric Nystrom, former Michigan Wolverine. Darren Helm with that speed got checked there by Gabriel Bork.
This is the matchup to me, as we've talked about, the center iceman. All of a sudden, the slotting's better.
Abdelkader shot just wide.
For your Red Wings, you get your captain back last game, you get Helm back, and all of a sudden you're deep down the middle with Datsuk. They're not playing together now yet. Datsuk and Zetterberg and Anderson as well. So you've got your 4 spots covered. Nashville, 4 very capable centermen, veteran centermen.
That play is called offside, and at the beginning of practice today,
there's the Dad's Day. There they are watching. It's been the Dad's trip. Group photo to commemorate. It's very cool stuff. Wish I would have had that idea back in the day when I played.
here's Jones with it.
Fisher with that face-off win. He's their main cog. He's plays more than anybody. The center ice position as a forward position. He's just a 200-foot player, as they call him nowadays, Kenny. It means that you're just a complete hockey player.
6'4", 205 pounds, the 19-year-old.
Good D there. Good stick by Quincy.
Jones will shoot it back in. Barry Trotz loves the way he plays. Says sometimes as a 19-year-old, some nights he looks like a 29-year-old veteran, and other nights he looks 19, but that's to be expected.
And then what they've done with his ice time, he was playing a ton. They've backed it off. Now they're slowly giving him more minutes again.
The Kaiser's shot will be handled by Mazonitz. Hold on for a face-off. Danny DeKaiser, who was hit by Patrick Hornquist very early in the first meeting and separated his shoulder. And nice to see him here tonight in Motor City Ice Time. And we're speaking of DeKaiser and Seth Jones right behind Jacob Trouba from the Wolverines. The rookie leaders among defensemen in ice time in the National Hockey League. Brought to you by Motor City Casino.
And that's a good indicator that they're key players, even though they're rookies.
Pavel Datsuk. Gostad watching him. He slapped Gostad's stick to get it out of the way. And Gostad stayed with him. And finally the puck was cleared down, but the faceoff will come back into Nashville territory.
This set the Red Wings back a little bit. Danny DeKaiser. The accordion hit by Patrick Hornquist. You can see immediately the discomfort experienced by DeKaiser. He's back, and the Red Wings are better for it.
Missed 15 games with that injury. And yes, you can see how much better the Red Wings move the puck with him back there.
You can skate fast and you can play fast, and playing fast is even better. It means you move the puck well.
There's a shot to score! Boy, on the icing, Mike Babcock tried to take advantage and put Datsuk and Zetterberg out there together, but right off the draw, the Predators came down and they got the goal. That's off an icing call, too.
The tired line made the fresh line, as you're talking about, pay, and it's just a quick play to the outside. Smith, their leading goal scorer, shows why. No pressure right there is where no challenge. And Jimmy Howard got a piece of it, but you could see there was no challenge, no save, now no tie game.
Smith with his team leading 11th goal of the season. Here's Cleary. Red Wings responded 66 seconds last time, trying to do it again. And Miller, who assisted, is out there. DeKaiser's got it. Makes a play to Quincy. Safely in, not to have it blocked. To Anderson back of the net, near side for Miller. Off the side of the goal, Cleary over to get it. Back into the slot, Miller able to knock it down. Gostad able to nudge one ahead, and Klein's got it. Klein, the defenseman, in, but offside is Nashville. Smith from Gostad at 9:50. 2-1 Predators.
2-1 Predators with the lead. Let's see it. Defensive zone faceoff. Gostad 28 battles. And you can see Bertuzzi and Zetterberg both overcommit. Now watch Bertuzzi. I can't get there. Captain Z, can you get there? Smith takes it wide. No challenge by the defenseman. And as a goaltender, that's one you really have to make that save, especially when you're trying to get settled in. Jimmy Howard's coming in, he's had 2 goals fly by him on 5 shots, and he hasn't played in 9 games. That's a tough start. He's got to get himself settled down, get his feet under him, and make some saves for this team.
And Gostad's the second best face-off man in the league, so he knows what he's doing against the Red Wings' best in Pavel Datsyuk.
I thought that could have been a penalty, though. You're not allowed to fall down on the face-off anymore like Gostad did. You're not allowed to cover the puck like that.
Well, you can't play it with your hand, that's for sure. I'd like to get another look and see if he...
He was close. It was connected to his stick, but it looked like he tried to punch it with his glove.
Darren Helm out there now. He's been on the ice for the Detroit goal and has been on the ice for 2 of the Red Wings' 3 scoring chances early on in this game. Helm will go back and get it. No icing. Abdelkader put it inadvertently right in front of his own goal. Owen cleared away by Lashoff for Abdelkader. Helm couldn't pick it up. Ekholm over to Seth Jones. So a couple of rookies back there on the blue line for Nashville. Jones will bring it in. His shot was blocked. To the line, covering up was Hornquist. Up there along with Wilson. And Mike Fisher. Yurko back to Zetterberg. And he'll just send it through center ice. A race for the puck. Nyquist couldn't beat Ekholm to the puck.
Boy, he looks good, doesn't he, that Ekholm?
Yeah.
I mean, they're young back there with the young goaltender with Rene out. Seth Jones is 19, Ekholm's 23, but they've got skill.
Ekholm didn't play in the 2-0 win over Detroit. That pass back to him missed. And Seth Jones back to get it.
There's Seth Jones a year ago, winning gold with Team USA. He was fantastic in that tournament. Team USA plays Team Canada tomorrow. Team USA with a 3-0 record. Keep it perfect in the preliminary round.
That's going on over at the World Juniors.
And then the big boys play in Sochi coming up. The Olympic Games. Team USA, the goaltenders. This is how I have them ranked. Miller, Quick, Howard, Schneider, Bishop. 1, 2, 3. 3 will go. I think those are the 3 that should go, the first 3 that I mentioned. We'll all find out after the Winter Classic on Wednesday.
Jimmy Howard certainly wanted to get a game under his belt to play in the Winter Classic on Wednesday. He's just,
it's one of those things that whether if you're a defenseman, a forward, Jimmy Howard hasn't gotten on a roll yet this year. And that's what he's trying to establish. Get some footing, get on a roll. And it's just been an injury, some inconsistent play in December, some things where he hasn't been able to track the puck as well as he did a year ago. He was so good last season. They made the playoffs because of him. Right now, he's trying to reestablish his game.
Well, it's a lot different than his last time in here, April 14th, when he stopped all 22 shots in a 3-0 victory over Nashville. His last appearance before injuring his left knee in practice was a shootout loss in Florida, December 10th. And we've got a stop and play here as down on the ice is Nystrom. The Predators hit leader with 88. Signed a 4-year deal, and there's going to be a penalty here to Detroit.
Yeah, off the face-off, I believe Miller.
No, a Spartan getting a hold of a Wolverine. Well,
20 on 24. There it is. Little chin music with the hockey stick. Usually does some damage here in Honky Town. Or Hockey Tonk, whichever you want to call it. They call it Smashville. Miller sits.
He was telling me this morning and reminded me that his first ever college game was the Cold War on October 3rd when it wasn't really all that cold like it's going to be on Wednesday.
Right.
But he said playing outdoors, his first college game, he said after that, everything's downhill after you go through that experience.
That was in October.
Yeah, it was October 3rd, yeah. So it's the Predators power play here, which you mentioned has been very good. Shot in front of the goal, and Howard quick there.
That's a great save. Great read by Jimmy Howard.
Nashville's power play, 7th in the league at 21%, but better than that at home, 5th at 24.6%. They've got a power play goal in 7 of their past 8 games. So yes, 29th in the league in offense with now 91 goals. Their power play, though, has been great. Here's Helm looking to get loose, and he can. He's got it. Bouncing. Weber's back. Helm goes wide. Nashville, the only team in the National Hockey League not to allow a shorthanded goal so far this season. Eaves moves up.
And that's amazing when your power play is that prolific. Part of it has to do with Shea Weber bombing from the blue line. But most times when you have a prolific power play, it means you gamble a little bit more. You have more forwards in the offensive third, and you're more prone to shorthanded goals against.
Crowd getting antsy. They're spoiled by this man advantage. Ryan Ellis has it, the Hamilton native who played for Windsor. Now up the left wing side, the Predators bring it in. Cullen gets checked. Abdelkader off his skate. Jones able to keep it in. Right-hand shot playing left side in this power play, and he has played either side during the regular season. In front and a stick in the lane by Quincy before the puck got over to Cullen.
Second time Quincy's had a real good stick.
That shot goes off the leg and up into the netting, and a stop and play.
I call this a great save. Middle of the season would be routine, but a guy that's given up 2 goals on 5 shots, that's a monster save by Jimmy Howard. And Monster not in the lineup because he's nursing groin injuries. Jimmy Howard needed that save, so did the team. Great read, well done.
That draw won again by Nashville. Josi, too many bodies in front. In there to get it goes Fisher. Josi over here to Shea Weber. Into leg one. The shot deflected. Hornquist may have got a stick on that. And the Red Wings, Zetterberg will get it down the ice. So 2 minutes remaining in the double minor to Drew Miller. On the injury to Nystrom. Helm knocking it down. Tried to get it to Anderson. He couldn't. Weber able to move one ahead. Back to it goes Josi.
2 centermen out there killing penalties for the Red Wings.
Checked at the line. Weber keeps it in. 7 goals in the power play, leading all NHL defensemen for Weber. Roman Josi gives it to Legwand. Back to Josi. Over to Weber. Down low it goes. Hornquist in front. Josi. Other side. Shot by Weber. Broken stick. Without one as Lashoff gets one from Anderson. And they leave the stick in the slot as Lashoff. Down low. Predators work it. Stick saved by Howard. Puck loose. Great save by Quincy. It was behind Howard. And Quincy knocking it away. Then he takes a shove to the head for his troubles. I think it may have been Legwand who elbowed Quincy in the face.
That's 3 fabulous plays with the hockey stick by Kyle Quincy already in this first period. This thing's heating up. Rivals for a long time. Frustration a little bit because of the Red Wings' time spent in their zone. Here's the save by Quincy off the left heel of Jimmy Howard, and then holding the post. Here's Quincy earlier on. Number 27, stick in lane. Otherwise, that's a slam dunk. Kyle Quincy doing yeoman's work. Penalty kill down low for the Red Wings.
His dad, Marty, is on the trip. Very nice man, and a chance to spend some time in practice with him today. We walked back to the hotel with Marty. And again, it's nice they'll all be around for New Year's Eve and take the game in at the big house. Datsuk's got it. 50 seconds left in the Miller double minor penalty. And it was off the face-off. Datsuk goes off. Abdelkader comes on out there along with Eaves. There's a play across by Cullen. Stalling over to get it. Did wind up with it, sent it back to the line for Seth Jones. Ryan Ellis is a great shot, got it into the slot. Cullen with it. The veteran forward had that one go off the glass. Stick in the lane again, this time by Eaves, but it went back to Ellis. Won a Memorial Cup in his time in Windsor. Here's Cullen, got it. Down low, into the slot, shot blocked. Getting in front of that Kronwall. Here's Miller out of the box. Surrounded by yellow. And as Miller tries to get it through, Mazanec will grab it, and he'll hold it. And a face-off will be in the Nashville zone when we come back. In a 2-1 Predators lead, you're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
Game break is brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. In case you missed it just before the Wings game, the Griffins and the Toronto Marlies down at Comerica. Marlies winning it in a shootout. Spencer Abbott beats Tom McCollum. Toronto gets the win. Final score 4-3. Guys, back to you in Nashville.
2-1 Predators lead. During the commercial timeout, we'll roll back what we had on Jimmy Howard. He looks exhausted.
4 minutes of zone time, and you're in your crouch the whole time. Even though there was only one official shot on goal, you're in your crouch, moving around, reading the play for 4 consecutive minutes when you haven't played. That's exhausting.
Datsuk pulled it up near side. He got checked. Boy, he's going to see a lot of Paul Gaustad tonight. Will Pavel Datsuk, and Howard will hold that. Gaustad's a big body for Pavel Datsuk to try to lug around all night long.
Right now, Gaustad checked Datsuk in the offensive zone, snuffed out an offensive foray, beat him in the faceoff circle that led to the second goal. So right now, it's Gaustad, and he is a premier fourth-line center. Yeah, they're paying him too much money, I would say, but he is money if you're looking for a faceoff guy, a big body, who's very dependable on your fourth line.
6'5", 223 pounds.
That's a big body.
They got him from Buffalo with a fourth rounder and gave up a first rounder to get him the trade deadline.
It's a lot. That was they were going for it, right? That was the playoff. They thought they had it set up to win in the playoffs. They beat the Red Wings that year.
Yeah.
So there was some payback, but I think they have a real good veteran core down the middle with Matt Cullen and Mike Fisher. We've talked about David Legwand, the Michigan native, and Paul Gaustad. That's as savvy as it gets.
Hornquist took a shot. It was blocked. Yurko, Nyquist, and Zetterberg. Played by Manzanitz, gave it away to Yurko. Nyquist able to pull it back from Wilson. That hit a stanchion, took a fortuitous bounce there for the Predators. Stepping up was DeKeyser, and back to help is Zetterberg for Quincy. 2:20 to go in period number 1. Played by Ellis, tapped ahead by Victor Stahlberg. One-time Leaf and Blackhawk. In back of the net, fired around and grabbed by Bourque. Long stretch pass ahead for the veteran Cullen. 37-year-old. And that'll be held by Howard. Well, it's a lineup of legends for the Leafs and Red Wings Alumni Showdown tomorrow at Comerica Park. Steve Yzerman, Nick Lidstrom, the Russian Five, the Grind Line, and more. All part of this unforgettable doubleheader. And for tickets, call 313-471-7575 now. Ticket executives are standing by, and we're looking forward to being there tomorrow.
Yeah. Everybody's doing double duty. Ozzy's in the studio. Manny and Mick, they were in for the American Hockey League game, and you and I.
Yeah.
Here we go. Everybody, wall-to-wall hockey there on Fox.
If you can't get down there to Comerica Park tomorrow, join us. We'll be on the air from 1 until it's all over. Tomorrow afternoon on Fox Sports Detroit, the alumni doubleheader, and I think everybody's excited about it. These guys will be practicing over at the Big House tomorrow, and that's all ready to go. And on Wednesday, they're expecting around 18 to 20 degrees, a 45% chance of snow during the game. Supposed to get heavier after the game, but it'll be winter weather for sure, so dress warmly on Wednesday and tomorrow too at Comerica Park. And we'll be on the air after the game on Wednesday on Fox Sports Detroit from there and our studio as well. So when the game's over, join us on Fox Sports Detroit on Wednesday too. Miller will shoot it in and go after it. Breathing, I'm sure, a little easier after that 4-minute double minor.
That's one where you inadvertent penalty, teammates bail him out.
Oh, a hit, a hard one by Kindle.
Good one.
Back to the line for Yossi. Top of the circle. Howard, good save, left pad.
Really good response by Jimmy Howard after giving up that second goal. Puck starting to stick to him, and that one he flashed out more reflexive. So he's just starting to play the game a little bit.
Final minute of the period. Bertuzzi and Datsuk are on, along with Tatar. Bertuzzi and Datsuk have been on for both Nashville goals against. Bertuzzi with 6 goals and 10 points, and Pavel Datsyuk with a goal and 6 points the past 4 games.
This is something that I think if Jakob Kindl does more of this, he'll play more. And certainly they need a lot more of this. Look at that through traffic. That's good tracking. When we talk about tracking the puck, finding the puck through traffic, Jimmy was talking to me this morning about that. You don't get a chance to do that in practice because you don't have traffic in front. It's just clean looks. That was a great save because of it.
Played ahead for Bertuzzi for Smith. Good play by Tatar to nearly come out of his skates to keep that play going. Fisher has it knocked down at center by Brendan Smith. Moved it along. Tatar just got his head up. Intercepted there by Wilson for Smith. Smith with a good pass into the slot to Fisher. Tried to play it back as Weber had moved in. Now Wilson's got it again. Off the skate of Mike Fisher. Tatar couldn't clear it, but Bertuzzi will make certain to do so.
Tatar has made that backhand flipper inside his own blue line several times. He's going to lose that from his repertoire.
A bouncing puck back into the Red Wing end with 2 seconds to go in the period. The shot's 9-5 Nashville, and they lead by a goal after 20 minutes of play. And we'll go just in time to Justin White and Justin Abdelkader for our Ram intermission. Abdelkader getting the goal, and Jimmy Howard trying to find his game in his first game back in 9. But before we get all of that, we'll send you to our studio back in Detroit. Chris Osgood along with Shannon. Welcome back to Nashville. Predators in a 2-1 lead. Now to someone who never waffles on their thoughts, Darren Elliott.
No, don't even wear a waffle board anymore.
Yeah, right.
They used to call the blocker. Well, we talked about this center ice matchup. Paul Gausted on Pavel Datsyuk. This is old school where your fourth line takes on your top line. Don't see it much anymore. They usually go top line versus top line, but this is why Paul Gausted is a very valuable fourth line, quote-unquote, center iceman. 6 out of 8 in the face-off circle. Handled Datsyuk. Datsyuk and Bertuzzi on for both goals against. Craig Smith with a wicked wrister off the face-off win in the defensive zone by Gausted to make it 2-1.
If a Detroit player gets a hat trick in this game, bring a copy of the scoring summary to a participating Arby's location tomorrow for your free small order curly fries. And you can find that scoring summary in your newspaper or on the Red Wings page at foxsportsdetroit.com.
Ozzy talked about it in the studio about face-offs. 27 of them. Yeah, you're going to have to be better, but this game's going to be 4 hours long if we have 27 face-offs per period.
There were a few icings there to speak of.
5 as well. 60 face-offs is about the average for a game.
David Legwand got that one from Pavel Datsyuk, and Brendan Smith tried to punch it into the Nashville zone as the Red Wings defend the goal to our left. Datsyuk's got it at center. Over for Bertuzzi, who will send one in. Marek Mazonets, the rookie of the month in November, was out there to stop it behind the goal. Abdelkader for Datsyuk. Knocked out of the air by Smith. Came to the line, though, for Kronwall. And that shot went high. Moving in is Smith. Pinching in down low, getting help from Abdelkader. Abdelkader went back to the line to Smith, sent it toward the goal, and it found its way to Mazonets, who made the save. Datsyuk in behind for Bertuzzi. Using that big body, checked there by Shea Weber. Smith coming over to the other side to hold in. Back of the net again for Bertuzzi. Away from Weber. Back to Abdelkader, but a stick in the lane, and getting there first was Josi.
Good spin move by Bertuzzi, but no juice left to get it off the end line to the front of the net.
Kronwall back to pick it up to Kaiser to his left. Has the puck now for Daniel Cleary. Bouncing puck and away from Nyquist as Cleary got it toward the goal. Zetterberg out there with him. Quincy's long pass is tipped through. Mazonets will play it ahead himself. Zetterberg blocked it partially. Then help from Nyquist. Second effort by the Predators. Fisher for Wilson. Back for Fisher. Look behind. He had Hornquist. But his countryman Nyquist saw that, and as a result of all that, the play goes offside.
Ozzy was talking about Jimmy Howard in the studio. We talked a lot about him, Kenny, in that first period. 2 goals go by him. tough when you've missed so many games in a row for a start like that, but excellent recovery. Some recovery right there. Needed some oxygen after that 4-minute double minor high sticking to Miller. Spent the entire time in his own zone. That's a workout, folks.
Darren Helm back of the net was checked as Cullen was forcing the issue with Bourque. It comes back to the line for Klein. Into the corner goes Cullen, checked by Kindle. Tatar ahead for Eves, and again Eves in the lineup tonight for the injured Alfredson, out with an upper body injury as Eves took the warm-up for Alfredson tonight. And nice to see Patrick Eves get back in, and it's one of those where the Red Wings have so many players. You know, he'd love to play outdoors on Wednesday, but that remains to be seen. And again, what is the health of Alfredson after the game tonight?
Lots of question marks. If you haven't figured it out, it's a busy time for your Red Wings and Mike Babcock right now, trying to juggle everything. It's festivities for the fans, it's work and lots of events for the players, and meanwhile you're trying to garner points in the standings along the way.
Eves had played 6 before not dressing in Florida. Bouncer down that Jimmy Howard will hold on to. And maybe the worst injury that Patrick Eves had was the concussion and the jaw from a Roman Josi shot.
This set him back. Obviously, there's the guts and the will to do the right thing. It went oh so wrong. He's come back. That's been good to see, but man, oh man, I don't know. This shot blocking that has become all the rage. I don't know if I was a forward, if I would be that brave, to be honest with you.
Yurko up there along with Anderson and Drew Miller. Last shot, checked his man. Miller coming in. Anderson over there too. Brian Ellis has it. Last shot goes back. Gostad knocked him down to the ice. Nystrom in to help as he goes down.
Gostad's having a heck of a hockey game right now. He's becoming a difference maker.
Played ahead to center and knocked off the puck, and a hard check by Leguan was Yurko.
There you go. There's the other another centerman. Again, I mean, I like that depth down the middle for the Preds.
That play goes offside, and just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
You're looking forward to that. Pavel Datsyuk down the middle. They're getting properly slotted for your Red Wings with Helm back in, Zetterberg back last game, Anderson on the fourth line. So things are looking up down the middle for your Red Wings. We talk about it so often, Kenny, because like any sport, you build your strength down the middle.
Intercepted the shot, and Howard will hold on.
It's a beauty.
Goal scorer Smith, who leads the team with 11. Had another try there.
Turnover, you have full possession of the puck. You get spread out. You don't have much help. Little touch pass. Smith, good instinct. Better read by Jimmy Howard.
Datsyuk got that draw back. He was on the face-off there with Leguan. Grosse Pointe Woods native David Leguan. Kronwall for Bertuzzi. Datsyuk's on the move. He's got it at center. Datsyuk weaves his way into Nashville territory. Played it in back of the goal. Abdelkader tried to kick it back to Datsyuk. He did. Datsyuk gets shoved down to the ice. Now knocked it out of the air with his glove onto his stick. Still being tied up there by Leguan, trying to find some open ice. Datsyuk ever elusive. He did manage to find some room. Chipped it in back of the goal. But Leguan's there first. Abdelkader got over to keep it in for the Red Wings. Puck squirts free and the Predators will break out. Spalling's got it. Catching up is Josi. Shot scores! It's a 2-goal lead. Spalling rifles it home.
Scrum on the left side of your screen. Well sorted out. Kronwall. Smith calls it. They leave the shot to the outside. The defense can't do any better. It's a 2-on-1 turned into a 2-on-2. Everybody did the right thing. Jimmy Howard looking to the roof. lets you know what he thinks of the outcome.
The first one, as Justin Abdelkader told us in the game tonight, hit a stick, fluttered a bit, but the last two have both been short side goals.
Well, the inside, they've had good shooting angles because they've been on their off wing. That's part of it. And Jimmy Howard, with the rust on the game, you miss a little bit of that technique. The interesting thing to me, though, is what he talked about in practice. You don't get to see a lot of shots through traffic. 3 shots have been clean. Pretty clean, other than one that, fluttered a little bit. And his good saves have been through traffic.
A long one that he will hold on to, and again, making his first appearance in 9 games off the left knee injury.
Look, I can tell you, whether you're coming back from injury or if you're a backup goalie, you don't play a lot, there's a lot of time in between starts, it's always like starting over. There's Peter Mrazek. He's in that role right now. He's got to be ready. He's got to stay focused because you might be in there. You never know for whatever the circumstance. And when you go in there and you're like starting over, you need a little bit of, as Ozzy used to call it, puck luck. You need some things to go your way, because when it doesn't, man, it's like playing the game on marbles or on ball bearings. You're slipping, you're sliding, you're not that sure. And you're no different than a forward or a defenseman who's struggling to make plays at your own position.
And speaking of forwards, looking back at my notes, the last time the Red Wings played Nashville was the 2-0 loss at home. Mike Babcock played 11 forwards and 7D that night because they didn't have Daniel Alfredsson. Luke Glendening was sent to Grand Rapids then, too.
That's right.
Glendening went down yesterday back to play with the Griffins, and he scored 2 goals in the shootout loss to the Marlies this afternoon at Comerica Park. So Patrick Eaves comes in for Alfredsson tonight, so Daniel Alfredsson in the 2 meetings with Nashville this season won't play either one.
Penalty coming up.
Chris Rooney making the call, and Nashville's going to go to a power play here, and this, to say the least, is a huge penalty kill for Detroit.
We talked about Kyle Quincy and his good use of the stick in the first period. He hooks in. That was aided and abetted by some acting on the part of the Preds, but Quincy put himself in a position where the referee could make the call, and quite frankly, Rooney was in a terrible position to make that call. He's on the backside of that play, but the motion was enough to get the arm in the air. Red Wings on the penalty kill, and as you called it, Kenny, monumental PK right here.
Nashville's 3rd power play try of this game. Detroit, which has been familiar territory of late, hasn't had a power play try yet tonight. Weber and Josi on the back end as Fisher goes back, and an outstretched stick of Weber held it in. Fisher to Weber again. Walks it across this way for Roman Josi. Back to Weber. Look out here. Doesn't shoot it. Passes, and the shot went wide of the goal. Brought back in by Miller. Josi's got it with Miller in tow, and he'll stop.
Giving Jimmy Howard the rhubarb, Bronx cheer, whatever you want to call it, the business.
9 of the past 21 Nashville goals have come on the power play. But again, the final 350 of the 4-minute man advantage, they didn't get a shot. Helm forces the issue. Helm's got the puck and the shot. That was fluttering too. Mazonitz made the save and makes the play. And the Predators' Cullen skate the stick. Got crossed up at the line. Brendan Smith able to poke it as center. Recovered by Spaulding, the latest goal scorer for the Predators. In front for Cullen. Smith was all over him and tipped it over top of the goal. Played ahead to the line. Ellis kept it in on Abdelkader. Now Danny DeKeyser will get it down the ice.
Leading time on ice leader, Danny DeKeyser tonight so far for your Red Wings. Excellent penalty kill thus far in this hockey game. Mandatory because this is a very prolific and dangerous looking power play.
Cullen was checked, but Predators hold in. 10 seconds left. Man advantage. Seth Jones and a good feed back to Ellis. In front of the goal. And partially fan on and tipped through was Smith.
Lashoff laying out, I believe, at the last second, helping out Jimmy Howard on the weak side. But this is what I'm saying. Even though they're not getting many shots through, the Preds moving the puck around at will. And the Red Wings will of their own, denying. And Phil Housley, a big reason, added as an assistant coach this year, the power play much more potent. He's in charge of it. He could run it when he was a player. He's doing it now as a Preds assistant coach.
And remember, he used that short stick.
Yes, he did.
Housley did. It may have come up well beneath his chin, or some cut it too, but it was a really tiny stick he used.
It's interesting. He coached. There's another catfish. He coached Seth Jones, Team USA last year, but he was already hired as an assistant coach before Seth Jones fell to the Predators in the draft. It wasn't a package deal, but it's worked out beautifully for Housley, for Jones, and for the Predators.
And you're right. And Jonathan Drouin went just before Jones to Tampa Bay. Drouin had benched a little bit in Team Canada's victory come from behind today at the World Juniors. That Anthony Mantha had such a big day for Canada. The Red Wings prospect drafted 20th overall. So the power play is over.
Now, can you get some energy from the defensive side of the game? Oftentimes you can, so let's see if the Red Wings can spend some time in the Pred zone and put some pressure on the young goaltender.
Nashville in a 2-goal lead. They've not lost in regulation when leading after one period of play. Second best mark in the National Hockey League at 13-0-1 is Nashville. They've increased their lead to 2 goals here in the second. And that play goes offside. You're watching Red Wings hockey on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire.
I remember I had them, they're swimming around in my mouth, so I can feel them. And then I just, when I took off my mouth guard up top, I had more sitting inside that, so then I just knew it was not very good.
As we mentioned, Danny Clary now with only 12 of his original teeth left. He got hit by a puck right there that caught him against Florida. He has an 8 a.m. dental appointment tomorrow, as you could see him nearly choking on him. He pulled out his mouthpiece, as he said, and they were in there. He lost 7 bottom, 3 on top with a nerve exposed, and that's why he's going to see the dentist tomorrow morning. Could you imagine playing outdoors, get some wind as you're skating, and have a nerve exposed?
No.
He said he'd never felt pain like he did yesterday.
It's unbelievable.
Isn't it?
He goes from Bridgestone Arena to Bridgework tomorrow.
Right. Yes, for the Bridgestone Winter Classic. Well done, my friend.
That's all.
Perfect.
Justin White, we were talking about it earlier. I'll give full attribution. That's his line.
Played back and taken by Quincy. Knocked down by Datsuk on the intercept with Bertuzzi and Abdelkader. Datsuk shot one off a leg and wide.
It just looks like there's goals to be had if they can spend some time in the offensive third. I'm just not convinced right now that Fred's in their own zone.
Yeah, and as Chris mentioned, Mazonets looked shaky early on. And despite making the saves and beating on the Red Wings' second shot. And I don't know, you're the goaltender, but from a sharp angle as Mazonets went down, did he play that one correctly on the Abdelkader goal?
It was a great shot. Shovel shot by Abdelkader on the backhand scoop. But yeah, he misread it, let's put it that way.
Eves with a shot. He stopped that one as it hit a stick and went through to the Nashville goaltender. Here's Tatar on the steal from Gostad. Second try. Played ahead for Nystrom. Here comes Helm in his first game back. Eves with a long shot in, knocked aside. Back to the line it comes to Brendan Smith, who scored on a wicked slapper against Florida. And with dental work complete, here's where Danny Clary will play on Wednesday with the Red Wings. They'll practice there tomorrow afternoon while we bring you the alumni games from Comerica Park. The Red Wings and then the family skate after. As you look at time lapse, they've done such a marvelous job, and the efforts from everyone working in the middle of the night and the freezing of the rinks, and what a job Dan Craig and his entire crew have done, and just remarkable.
And downtown, everybody involved. It's Al Sabatka after the GLI that we were so happy to bring to you fans here on Fox Sports Detroit. He's rolling up the red carpet at the end of it. I mean, that's hands-on. That's doing it all.
Here's a break for Jones. Pulls it back, shoots. Oh, Jimmy Howard! Oh, in Rapier-like fashion, he got the left hand out to make that save on the rookie.
Well, you see the skill of the youngster and the instincts. If you're jonesing for a save, Jimmy Howard delivers and denies. That's some dangle issues for a youngster. who's 6'4" as well.
Jones, whose younger brother Caleb is with the under-17 U.S. National Team Development Program in Ann Arbor. Jones' father, Popeye, longtime NBA player.
For the Denver Nuggets, that's where Seth started playing hockey. His dad played a lot of places along the way.
Here's Klein. Boy, he's been a Red Wing killer in the past, Kevin Klein. Some big goals against Detroit, even from the defense position. Big battle in the corner. Bork got it in behind to Cullen. Wraparound try. Lashoff got over to help cut him off.
This is football. Nashville has a good running game right now.
Right?
You know, they are just time of possession. Only 15 shots on goal, supposedly. It seems like a heck of a lot more for the Preds.
Stahlberg with a shot. Held in there by Bork. Puck finally settled down to Colin, and then Stahlberg had to go through his skates. Miller just took a whack at it out at center. Anderson failed to click with that pass to Thomas Yurko. Played ahead for Yurko. He's checked immediately. Red Wings getting very little room to move here. Turned over high slot. That shot hit his skate. Leg one, couldn't pick it up. And Jimmy Howard will just settle things down here. We'll step out. 45 seconds past the halfway point in game 41. Before Daniel Cleary's NHL career began, he was cut at the World Junior Tournament by his now head coach Mike Babcock. Well, speaking of Canada, they were down 3-1 to Slovakia today. They got a goal and 3 assists from Red Wings first-round pick Anthony Mantha. 4 goals in the tourney, has a hat trick. And Canada beat Slovakia 5-3, scoring the last 4 goals. Mantha set up the tying goal in the winner with 2:46 left. So it'll be Canada-USA tomorrow in Sweden for first place in Group A. USA needs a win in any fashion to claim the preliminary round top placing. Canada must beat the U.S. in regulation. Howard there as Nashville came close.
Mantha's a project. He's having a fantastic year. 4 points today. He was dominant, but like a lot of big men, it takes longer for them to put all the pieces together as they're developing.
Here comes Smith, had it knocked away. Spaulding has it now for Nashville, and a backhander off Howard. Up high, they knock it down, and Howard able to find it, tracks the puck, and holds on for another faceoff. A reminder to vote in these Fox Sports Detroit Red Wings Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's new premium Southwest McWrap. To vote, just text WINGS followed by a space, then the player's uniform number to 37338, or vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. And Shannon Hogan will have results post-game during Red Wings Live. Shannon in the studio with Chris Osgood tonight. Yours truly, Ken Daniels with Darren Elliott and Justin White. Here from Music City, Bridgestone Arena in Nashville. 8:40 left in period 2. Nashville by 2. They got the first goal in this game. Been scoring first 17 times, and in that time they have only 1 regulation loss. And they scored first for the 18th time tonight.
Oh, it's a funky stat, though, because the Red Wings tied it with less than 3 minutes later, and yet here they are making that stat look good right now.
First power play of the game coming up unless they get something here. And Klein will touch, and the tripping call. Tim Peel, one of the 2 referees tonight, along with Chris Rooney. Barry Trott's team will be shorthanded.
They haven't been as good on the PK as you would expect, and as they have been historically. There's a penalty. Again, one of those penalties you go, eh. But right now, the Red Wings will take it.
Collins in the box, a cup winner with Carolina back in 06, and one of the top face-off men in the league.
So this Minnesota native went home, played there. Still want him to play, so he's back here playing. His family's in Minnesota, though.
Oh, miscue there by Kronwall. So Bell-Tire power play for Detroit. A power play that's 12th in the league, went 2 for 5 against Florida. Red Wings only had 4 power play goals in 11 games with the Henrik Zetterberg injury, and they scored 2 in his return, and he got 1 of them. Patrick Eaves will shoot it in.
Look out his sink, Kenny. I mean, even with the power play, can't seem to complete 2 passes in a row yet.
Datsuk slithered one back to Kronwall, across to Zetterberg. In front, Bertuzzi, puck's loose. Still is. But the Predators able to find it first. Kindle on the heart around. Zetterberg raced in. Josi there. Tried to backhand one, but Bertuzzi able to get in front and block it. Back up Kindle. Datsuk. He gets held. Turning is Zetterberg. Bertuzzi doing all he can to create some havoc in front. Weber gave Zetterberg a push, but it wasn't anything into the turnbuckle like we saw playoff time a few years back. Now mixing it up as Bertuzzi was getting into it with Matt Hendricks, who's been into the middle of things a few times in his career.
Fans aren't booing Bertuzzi wanting to fight. It's the playing Kentucky not letting them fight.
As it should be.
Sorry for all you politically correct bar fighting from hockey fans out there.
Nystrom and Nyquist. Tatar gets knocked down, back to the line. Good hold in by DeKeyser, and a shot went wide of the goal. Penalty over. Collins out of the box. Kindle in back of the net. Went off the stick at Tatar. In the midst of a change, Quincy sent it back into the corner where Ekholm able to bump Cleary. Klein got in front of it before Tatar could get it. Now Tatar's got it. And held by Marek Mazanec. It remains a 2-goal Predator lead in period number 2. And Weber on Zetterberg. We've seen that before. That one a bit cleaner.
Thanks, Shannon. 3-1 here. The two captains going at it. Wasn't very pretty in the playoffs a couple years ago. Shea Weber on Henrik Zetterberg. Push to the head. I missed you. Turnbuckle. Nothing. It would have been a 5-game suspension in today's NHL. Look at this. I missed it the first time. I'm not missing it the second time. Down goes Zetterberg. He looks on in disbelief. Weber hearing it from Zetterberg then. And Zetterberg got a push to the back to the boards rudely again by Weber in this one before we went to break.
19 faceoffs in period 2. The Red Wings have won 10 of them after winning just 8 of 27 in the first period. So that's been much better. Here's a chance. Datsuk across to Zetterberg. And he sent it wide. So loading up here. Saved by Mazanec, and Bertuzzi nearly had to come out front. Well, they were together earlier in the game when Nashville scored a goal against the Euro Twins. Trying to get one back here. Bertuzzi will go off on a change as Eves comes over the boards for Detroit.
Going to have to put them together, though, Kenny, to spark the offense.
Helm now comes on. Eves into the corner. Check. Mike Fisher for Nashville. Bumps Helm. Moving in comes Kronwall. There's Abdelkader with a shot. Good play. Abdelkader upset he missed the net. He was backing up for the defenseman, and a good play between 55 and 8. Brendan Smith brings it back in for Eves. Right-hand shot on the left side. Had to go off a stick and out of play.
We're talking about Pavel Datsuk. Let's take a look at the Flagstar Bank Star Watch, and that is Pavel Datsuk, and not lost on the Nashville Predators the way they've marked him so closely. Based on these numbers, they know what he can do, what he has done in his career against the Preds.
And we should mention, too, tonight that the Red Wings without Daniel Alfredsson, a late scratch with an upper body injury. Johan Franzen skating with the team today, but he will not play in the Winter Classic. Franzen's been out since December 15th. He just wants to wake up and feel normal, he says, and until that happens on a couple of days straight, he won't be playing. The shot was blocked as Lashoff got in front of it. Tatar tries to get through. Good play by Gabriel Bourque coming back for Victor Stahlberg. He was checked by Anderson. Howard scoops it around for Kindle. Didn't get what he wanted on that. That allowed Bourque to keep it in for Nashville. Cullen playing in game number 1113 of his career tonight. Nyquist with a good play to Joachim Anderson.
Grand Rapids trio out there.
Nyquist just missed it. And as a result of that, it will be an icing.
The Okay, Chris missed it. In case you missed it, there's Johan Franzen skating this morning. And as you said, Kenny, it's one thing to be out there skating. It's another thing to be handling the puck, working in traffic, making sharp cuts, bursts, those kinds of things. So the protocol is pretty set in the National Hockey League nowadays in terms of what you have to do as a player to be able to come back and be fit and ready to play.
Face-off win there by the Predators. As Smith put it back of the goal to Spalling, to Legwand, wraparound try. Tatar's got it. He and Nyquist will go off on a change. Allows Nashville a little room now to take a look. Weber played ahead, hit a skate, back for Smith, and Craig Smith will shoot it in. Brendan Smith. Angled ahead for Bertuzzi. Checked there by Weber. Legwand tapped one past Kronwall. Datsuk first back for Smith. Zetterberg couldn't connect with that pass.
Number 33, Colin Wilson. You remember Kerry Wilson, his dad?
Sure.
Number 33 as well for the Flames and the Rangers. And they look so similar on the ice. It's unbelievable.
Colin Wilson, former USA College Hockey Player of the Year. At Boston University to the NCAA title back in '09. Eaves with a good play. Catching up to it is Helm. He catches up to a lot of things.
He does.
Helm with it. Back to the line. The shot was blocked from DeKaiser. Helm's got it again. Looked for a redirect in front of the net as Quincy had a try. Jam away all. And Quincy's stick was lifted before he could get a shot. And it's Wilson, I think, who made a great play to deny Quincy an open net. And now Abdelkader.
And this is a spontaneous fight amongst two players who are critical to their team. This is hockey. This isn't staged. This isn't tough guy on tough guy. This is the heat of the battle. And there's Carrie Underwood saying, "That's my man," or something like that.
Nice twang you got there. She watches her husband, Mike Fisher, battle with Justin Abdelkader. And boy, Fisher's had quite a week considering he scored a pair of goals, the go-ahead goal Saturday in the final 5 minutes of regulation against LA for the win. And here's how it all started.
She's standing by her man as he stood up toe-to-toe with Justin Abdelkader. And this is what I'm talking about. The people that want fighting out of the game, this is natural, organic, and necessary. Not staged. It's not just a couple of toughs. It's a couple of guys airing it out because there's some animosity.
And I'm sure Mike Fisher would have loved to have played against his former teammate Daniel Alfredsson in either one of these two games tonight. And as mentioned, Fisher got a pair of goals on Saturday. Go-ahead goals in the final 5 minutes of regulation against LA as Fisher became the first NHL player since Peter Stastny did it for Quebec in a win over Buffalo to get a pair of goals in the final 5 minutes of regulation for a victory.
Pair of go-ahead goals. Mike Babcock doesn't care much about that, but he knows that Fisher and those guys we've been talking about down the middle, a tough matchup. He says, I've been coaching against him for 9 years. Everybody talks about what they don't do, what they don't have. He goes, I know what they are, and they're a tough team to play against.
Yes, they are.
Proving it again tonight.
Matt Hendricks take that face-off with Joachim Anderson. So the offsetting majors brought ahead here by Miller. With Cleary, Miller had another whack at it. Miller's got it again, trying to jam it home. Miller back of the goal. Checked by Klein. Stays with it though. Gostad first in. Nystrom came over. Gostad for Klein, and it goes to Hendricks. An original Nashville draft pick back in 2000. Matt Hendricks signed as a free agent last summer.
And not a coincidence he's out there after a fight.
Yeah.
If there's any more shenanigans, he's ready to answer the bell as well.
Started a few himself in time.
He has.
Took a hit there from DeKaiser and dumped it in. Kindle for Zetterberg, and on it goes to Datsuk. Datsuk coming in. Yossi forced them wide. Datsuk still with it to Zetterberg, and a shot saved by Mazonitz.
Great presence by Bertuzzi at the top of the crease.
Spaulding on the right wing with Smith and Legwand. Datsuk for Detroit. With Zetterberg and Bertuzzi. Datsuk patiently shooting and a save by Mazanec. Spaulding at the end of a shift. Taken here by Lashoff, back to Kindle. Helm skates through center with a slap shot wide. Knocked to the corner, Helm going over to get it. Kronwall in behind to Thomas Jurko. Jurko spins back, trying to get away from Colin. Right through the blue, nobody there. To the far side. Helm got there. Held in again. Helm colliding with Cullen. Eves driving to the goal. Smith came in and backhanded it high. A dozen seconds to go in the period. Jurko to the net. Saved by Mazanec. Cleared by Nashville. They're going to go to the dressing room after 40 minutes. Leading by 2 goals.
Well, the fans here love it. Mazanec proving that he was standing down there, staying sharp in the game. The fight happens, and it raises the temperature at ice level for everybody. Everybody's into it. Bertuzzi's in the paint. Mazanec with the save. Datsuk dangling. He's not a fighter, but the extra adrenaline, that urge at ice level, it was there. Excellent finish by the Red Wings to that period.
Well, Nashville leading after 2 periods of play. They haven't lost in regulation. They're 12-0-1, so the Red Wings have their work cut out for them in the third. Shannon. Back here at Bridgestone Arena, it's Nashville by 2 after 2 as the teams head back onto the ice for period 3 as the fans head back to their seats.
And what they were entertained to through 40 minutes was their Predator team taking the body. It's been physical, but a good kind of physical. Clean, hard-hitting. 12-10 are the official hits. 12 for the Predators, 10 for that one. Should have been a penalty. It wasn't. This was a penalty. But all that hitting leads to this kind of natural, organic fisticuffs. And both those guys, Fischer and Abdelkader, to the box.
Fischer's had quite a night. He's got the fight. He's got an assist.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. You know, well, we don't want to know.
No, we don't want to know.
And he's 11-2 on faceoffs, 85% for Mike Fischer tonight.
Jimmy Howard, historically so good against the Nashville Predators. It's our Red Wing player fact, and it's brought to you by Motor City Casino Hotel. And Jimmy Howard knows his job here is to make sure that the Predators don't score more than 3 goals in this hockey game. That's what's left in front of him. Gives his team a chance to win.
So Pavel Datsuk will start at center. He's got Zetterberg on his left and Bertuzzi on the right. Pavel played 8:29 in the second period. 3 minutes more than he played in the first. Shea Weber played 11 minutes and 42 seconds in the second period alone. Here comes Zetterberg with a shot and a save by Mazanec, who made 27 saves back in mid-November when what was a 2-0 Nashville win, his first career shutout of the 2 he has now, and again still waiting for the health of Pekka Rinne to improve following hip surgery and infection, and he's still a ways away.
I saw Pekka Rinne. Talked to him briefly, didn't ask him about his health, but it was obvious he's had double crutches. So he might be out the year.
Yeah. And Nashville in that very tough Western Conference, 17-18-4. They have just 1 win their past 6 since winning 3 straight. Zetterberg tried to get it back to Datsuk, but Weber was there, missed Smith with it. As scores! Datsuk! It's 3-2!
After that fight that we showed you coming back at the trail end of the second period, Pavel Datsuk has 3 shots on goal. He had 0 before that. Shea Weber, who'd been so good, Cavalier with the puck with the turnover. Datsuk makes them pay. Here's Weber. You've got to do something better with the puck than that. He expected Smith to have the play. He didn't. And Ozzie talked about shoot high on this kid. He looks like he makes himself small, short side to the corner. Everybody fired up.
The all-time point leader against the Nashville Predators has another one. So Pavel Datsyuk with a couple of goals and 7 points his past 5 games. And 799 points for his career. So the Red Wings back in this one. That's huge coming in the opening minute of period number 3, 35 seconds in. His 15th goal to lead the Red Wings. Looking for more. Eves couldn't get a clear shot. Had that one blocked. Yurko moved in. Good play to step up by DeKeyser, and then Helm reaching out, held it in for Eves. To the middle for Helm. Eves put it back from whence it came, but no goal there.
Well, they spent some time in the Nashville zone. We called for that midway through the hockey game. It started towards the end of the second, and it's picked up nicely here to start the third.
Danny DeKeyser with a pass that failed to click with Anderson. And as a result, the face-off will come back 200 feet.
So here's what Weber thinks. He takes a quick peek. He sees Smith's over there. But Smith reacts slowly. Kronwall does not. And Datsyuk to the dot, to the spot, to the back of the net.
And Kronwall with that pass, his team leading 23rd assists. He leads the defense with 27 points. Quincy ties up his man. Great spinorama play there by Tatar. Here's Nyquist to Anderson, to Nyquist. Just hopped over his stick. Quincy able to hold in. Back come the Predators. Bourque with a shot and a save by Howard. Rebound knocked down in front of him. Collins got it, put it toward the goal. Ricocheted back for Nyquist. Both teams in the midst of changing. Nyquist sensed that. Threw it in.
Cutting the lead to 1 changes everything. You don't have, and scoring so early in the period, you don't have to press and press too severely. Now you just have to play your game. A guy who's played his game throughout his career so well against the Detroit Red Wings, Shea Weber. It's our Toyota dealers scouting report on Shea Weber. 10 points the last 10 games. See his time on ice per game, 4th in the NHL. Over 11 minutes, as Kenny was saying, in that just that second period alone. 7 power play goals, most among D-men. Got the big shot, as we talked about. Always has had that. Continues to have that. But we're happy that he had the turnover here to start the third.
And he'll be playing for Mike Babcock in Sochi, paired with the first pairing with Duncan Keith. 1 gold for Mike in Team Canada back in 2010 in Vancouver.
I think Duncan Keith right now is the leading candidate, halfway point for the Norris Trophy.
Oh, what a season he's had.
Fantastic.
Datsyuk picks up that loose puck, goes to Zetterberg, back of the goal. The Red Wing captain fending off a check, keeps control of it, back to the line to Smith, and a shot is blocked in front. And the man who blocked it, Weber, able to move 1 ahead. Back with Zetterberg to intercept. Brought back in by Smith on Smith, and Brendan now has it. Sees his team is changing. So Kronwall tries to wait it out, gives it for Brendan Smith. Tipped in by Eves, and in goes Yurko with Ekholm. A slash of the stick. Ekholm went in heavily. Oh, and Helm just missed it. Back to the line, Quincy. Shot to the goal, tipped in front by Eves. And a save by Mazonets and a clear by Nashville.
And a great stick over the shoulder by Gaustad on that rebound.
Quincy with a bouncing puck controlled by Seth Jones. Given away at center, though. Yurko will lift 1 back in. Ekholm for Jones. Seth Jones with it. Gaustad's pass didn't work, but no icing. Danny DeKeyser with a long stretch pass. Anderson couldn't pick it up. It hit Klein and bounced out of play.
Paul Gaustad doing what he does. There it is, just in the nick of time. Gets there before Darren Helm. It was out in front. I thought he had to reach over the shoulder of Helm. He did not, but he got there nonetheless. Strong game so far for Paul Gaustad. But I think that if the Red Wings can continue to pressure and make Gostad and the Preds play in their own zone, they have the next goal.
Well, we mentioned Mike Fisher having a big night tonight. Since he's been in the penalty box, the Red Wings have outshot Nashville 7-1 and outchanced them 5-1.
Well, that's part of it is how good Mike Fisher is. The other part of it is he's got the ire and the energy level back up for the Red Wings.
In front of the net, cleared away before Abdelkader could get a stick on it.
I think more than the fight, that push in the back on the captain again. We showed you it was not called a penalty, and they started bouncing around. It was Zetterberg to the boards by Weber, and after that, from that moment on, the Red Wings started to play with a little more sense of urgency.
Well, that's the response you want to
Yes.
see. Yossi moves in. Hendricks with it. Back for Legwand. David Legwand to the line off a change here for Nashville. Spalling knocked down. Lost an edge. Abdelkader was on him. Cleared out to center. High stick by Yossi. So we'll get a face-off coming up. Celebrate hockey this holiday season with the Red Wings Pick 4 pack. Choose 4 great games from a pre-selected list and enjoy benefits like playoff priority. Plus, you'll get a free ticket to see Michigan State at the Joe on Thursday, January 23rd. Go to DetroitRedWings.com for tickets. Puck back to the line. Brendan Smith checked by Wilson. Wilson's got it. Odd man rush here, Nashville. Hit the goalpost.
Wilson's having a strong game.
Smith fanned on it again, so at one end, and then at this end, tough shift for him. Hornquist back of the net. Wilson left it. Fisher came in to help. Hornquist put it back of the goal. Wilson let it go to Fisher. Wilson in front for Fisher. Score! He's got a Gordie Howe hat trick.
Well, the fans here love it. Mike Fisher, we talked about him at the top of the show for a reason. He fought. He wins battles. This play in the zone, he gets to the spot, and that is as tough a shift as you will have as a defenseman. Smith with the turnover there, but this all started because of a Smith turnover at the offensive blue line, and then the coverage got blown down by the crease. That's 3 for $1, and it won't buy you much.
So he's had a big past 2 games with 3 goals his past couple and gives his team some breathing room here with 6 minutes gone in the third period and a 2-goal lead again. Knocked out of the air by Legwand. Point shot Yossi. Shea Weber kept it in. Bertuzzi on a second effort got at the center. So a goal and an assist and a fight tonight for number 12 of Nashville, Mike Fisher.
And the myth far exceeds the legend of Gordie Howe with the Gordie Howe hat trick. But the point is, he could beat you any which way. Score, set up his teammates, or roughhouse it.
And what, Gordie Howe only had, what, 2 in his career? Yeah. And we'll see Gordie tomorrow here on Fox Sports Detroit starting at 1 o'clock.
What a treat tomorrow is going to be.
With the doubleheader of alumni games for you. And hope you'll join us for both games tomorrow afternoon on Fox Sports Detroit. See the pictures today of Gordie Howe and Johnny Bauer out there together. Really something.
Fantastic stuff. Continue to celebrate hockey at all levels here. Winterfest here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Helm up along with Abdelkader. Cullen digs that puck free. He springs Ellis. Ryan Ellis got it in deep. One time in his career was wearing 6 for Ronnie Ellis. Brought back in for Miller, knocked off his stick.
Nelson, one of my favorite Maple Leafs as a kid growing up.
Maurice Bailey let him continue to wear the number 6. Big hit by Smith. Carrying on, though, is Wilson.
Although I was really a Red Wings fan growing up because of Roger Crozier, but growing up in Southern Ontario, we saw Leafs games more, as you know, with Hockeynet in Canada.
Loved Roger, too.
Oh, man.
Acrobatic. Here's a break. Wilson stops, waits, shoots, off the leg. And Hornquist, where he scores most of his goals from the periphery of the crease, couldn't knock one in the air.
I think Colin Wilson is showing the kind of game that they were hoping to get more from, and he just continues to look like a Nashville Predators type of forward. Responsible, but creative as well. Really liked his game, and some tough plays because the Red Wings have done a good job to come back, but there's been some big plays by Fisher, big plays by Gostad, and Wilson in particular on the Pred side tonight.
Zetterberg tried to get it through, but Bertuzzi was covered. The Predators may not be a high-scoring team as the fans want a penalty on Quincy, but they did put 6 past Colorado and beat Chicago in here 7-2 a month ago. They've got 4 on the board here tonight. Abdelkader looked in front. Hendricks found it, but Datsuk got to it first to Kindle, and the shot was blocked. Getting out to block it was Hendricks. Datsuk corralled it. Patiently behind for Eaves to Abdelkader, no one there. Datsuk shooting, blocked by Hendricks. And puck is up and out of play. So the last scoring play, Fisher from Wilson and Hornquist, puts Mike Babcock's team down by a couple.
Body language tells it all. Brendan Smith head down. Mike Fisher, a young player like Brendan Smith with so much skill, he's trying to make plays. He tries to make a play there. Colin Wilson makes a better play. They get away with it. Now, Brendan Smith has it. He's trying to make a good play. Colin Wilson makes a better play. And then again, here's Brendan Smith, same shift. He's trying to make a play on Patrick Hornquist. And in the end, Fisher with the goal. So when you're a young player like Brendan Smith, your team's down by 1, you want so badly to make a difference. And on the other side, an experienced player like Mike Fisher, he made the difference.
Helm goes into the corner, taken there by Ellis. Kindle's got it with a little room here. Shot wide. Helm couldn't pick it up. Colin couldn't get to it either as Eaves sent one that hit bodies in front, and Ellis will play it ahead for Bork. Lashoff stayed with him. Good play. Got it to Eaves and on to Abdelkader. Surrounded by Predators, he'll shoot it in. Kevin Klein lifts a bouncing puck that was knocked down by Kronwall. Seals his man Spalling. Brendan Smith. Bertuzzi to Datsuk. Weber on him. Datsuk tried to make a move, lost an edge and went down. Kronwall walks it to the middle. Looked back for Datsuk and found him. Slithered one to the net that Mazonets kicked aside. Bertuzzi to the line. Kronwall to Smith. In front off a skate, picked up by Datsuk and knocked away. A sprawling Spalling got it. Pair of 13s there and just got a stick on it.
Try to say that 10 times.
I couldn't say it one more. Here's Zetterberg back of the net. Patiently waiting. Zetterberg still with it. Still with it. Shooting, and that was stopped. Mazonets got a piece, and again, bodies in front. Mazonets without a goal stick.
And there's good to see Brendan Smith back out there. You'd love to see him make a play. I like Mike Babcock. Put him back out there.
Still without a stick as the Nashville goaltender. As Helm comes in, wrapper on tight front. Oh, Quincy, it's loose. It's gone! They bang it in! Miller was down, but not out. And it's a one-goal game.
That's it, baby. Shift over shift momentum. One shift leads to pressure. Line change. They follow it up. They get to the net. Mazanec, Snow Angel, Miller with the goal. That speed of Helm, we've talked about it, creating havoc. And there's a young player, Wilson, with a chance to get to it. Unable to help his goaltender. We're back in business.
Well, we'll see if Miller got a stick on that for sure at the end under the glove of Mazanec. It could be Quincy. Quincy played it ahead, but Miller did what he needed to do and drove the net.
Yep.
And he had an assist already tonight on the Ablocator marker. Clary off the back of the net. Some pressure here now. Detroit within a goal. Just over 8 to play in the third period. Shots 25-23 Nashville. Here comes Seth Jones with Hornquist. Lakeman in front. Has gone. Wilson. They get it right back.
Seth Jones, 19 years of age. Instincts. Colin Wilson, 23 years of age. And the skill was on display of those youngsters. That's just so soul-sucking when you come back and get within a goal and you tie it up. Jimmy Howard under siege. Unable to come up with that one with his team trailing by 1. Now it's a 2-goal margin again. But anything's possible in this one. This is a wild one.
Well, the Red Wings had come back 66 seconds early in the game. That one 37 seconds apart for Nashville's turn. And a penalty upcoming here to Detroit. So we'll step out. Nashville power play when we come back.
14 Detroit, 2 minutes stripping.
Well, we thought it was Miller time. 5-3. At the time, we were really excited because it brought them within 1. Here's Miller driving the net. Shoveled to the net, and here he is, number 20, getting there. That's hard to tell whether he got the puck or not. And then going the other direction, Colin Wilson, who's having just one heck of a hockey game. Jimmy Howard, there was a 2-1-0 on his doorstep. He just tried to spread out. Who knew that Colin Wilson had such a good backhand? And here they are on the power play. Fred's looking to extend.
All the goals have been at even strength tonight. So Nashville working on their 4th power play. Just 2 shots in the previous 3. Cullen getting it back. To the line to the rookie Jones. Shot is blocked off the attempt by Ellis. Here's Cullen. Cullen looked in front. That went off the skate to Kaiser and back to center.
Very surprising. We talked about the matchup down the middle. Obviously, winning it tonight thus far are the Preds, but their even strength scoring this season, -28. And as you said, they've scored 5 times here, skating 5-on-5, and a +2 in that regard. And that's the margin of their lead right now.
Shea Weber sets up. So runner-up back in 2011, the Norris Trophy won by Nick Lidstrom. Leg 1, a second attempt will fire in. Drew Miller scored the goal from Quincy and Helm is what they've announced officially. Yossi back to get it. The Swiss native. Back here to Weber. Finds Fisher with a goal and 2 assists tonight for Fisher. Leg 1 off a skate, goes to Ablocator. Daniel Cleary. Waits for help, finds it in Smith. Gets held, there's going to be a penalty to Nashville. Hooking.
Mike Fisher was a step late through the neutral zone. on the back check. He amped it up, he ramped it up, and then he ended up hooking him down. He'll go to the penalty box. Red Wings on the power play. Opportunity still, but time now a factor.
4-on-4 for 4 seconds. Then Nyquist will come out of the box. So Datsyuk against Gostad. Got that draw back. Eves went down. Zetterberg, good work to keep in. Nyquist right to the bench here as the Red Wings will get a change as Bertuzzi will come on. Ekholm got checked by Eves. Couldn't come out front with it. Eves left it there for Zetterberg to the line. Kronwall back to the Red Wing captain. Finds Eves, scores! What a pass! Zetterberg to Eves. We're at a one-goal game again, and a power play goal.
And a goal that you won't see very often. Mazanec lost his goal stick, and he was playing goal. Watch, he loses his goal stick on the Samurai Swat, the swinging poke check. Heads up play, given a stick by his defenseman. Klein gives him the stick. It doesn't matter. The rip from the right side beats him on the glove side.
Let me ask you this, former National Hockey League goaltender. Are you better off shorthanded for a defenseman to give his stick to the goaltender? You're already down a man, or is the goaltender just better off playing without it?
I think today's game with guys playing in their butterfly and on their knees as well, keep your stick as a defenseman, let them handle things along the ice with their pads. It didn't matter. It beat him on the glove side because he catches with his right hand.
Right, yeah.
And here we go, baby. 5 minutes to go, one-goal hockey game yet again.
Helms pass knocked down. Brendan Smith would like to make amends, carries in. Smith in front of the goal, and Helm just couldn't get a stick on it. Yurko with some good hustle. Back of the goal, Abdelkader and Helm. Yurko in there, second man, got bumped to the boards by Bourque. Jones. This will be icing. And that scoring play, Eves on the Bell Tire power play from Zetterberg and Kronwall at 14:52. So Alfredsson, who did not play tonight, the upper body injury, Eves comes in and gets his first.
And Mike Babcock always talks about Eves' ability to shoot. Shoot more. He shot there. One goal game again.
Eves playing in just his 10th game of the season. Joachim Anderson to Nyquist back of the net. To the line to Lashoff. Kindle partially fanned on it to Tar. Trying to get away from Collin. Found Anderson to Kindle. That was blocked, and that hurt Bourque. They didn't keep it in. Outside, they say. So with that, we will step out. 4:08 to go in a one-goal game, third period.
Shannon Hogan here with the studio update. Kings and Blackhawks on ice today in Chicago. First period, Brian Bickle finds Brendan Saad. He gets the wrister to go. Blackhawks take a 1-0 lead, and that is where they stand with about 2 minutes left in the third period. We're going to have much more from that one, as well as all the post-game reaction from Nashville, and the Pistons were in action tonight, too. All the highlights and reaction from that. But first, back to Nashville for the final minutes of this one, guys.
There's Patrick Eves. He's made it a one-goal game yet again. And just like we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And we're hoping we're premature about this. Loses goal stick, does Mazanec. Can't make the glove save because of the Eves blast. It's 5-4. We got ourselves a photo finish. And we can have 2 Miller Lights if there's another Miller Lite moment.
Who wouldn't want one? 3 goals in 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Miller at 11:30. Wilson at 12:07. Eves at 14:52. So with Abdelkader and Eves and Miller all scoring for Detroit, more or less some unlikely sources, then you get Datsyuk. Bertuzzi over to get it. with Datsuk and Zetterberg. Did not start the game that way, but forced into it. And again, without Alfredsson tonight and Franzen, that's a lot of offense missing. So trying to pick up some of that.
They've been piecing it together for over a month. Let's be honest.
It's amazing the record they have.
It is.
12, 3-3 on the road. Best win percentage in the league.
There's losses in regulation on the road in the entire league as well.
Brendan Smith chased by Hornquist. Got it to Quincy. Just over 3 to play. Eves will shoot it in. Abdelkader barrels in and runs Brendan Ekholm. Jones made the play. Calling in. Blocked by Smith. Picked up by Fisher.
Good stick there by Smith defensively.
So Hornquist couldn't get it. Abdelkader and Jones. Wilson ahead to Cullen. To Hornquist. The Kaiser back. And that'll be held by Howard. Join us again tomorrow afternoon for our doubleheader. The Leafs and Red Wings, the Alumni Showdown, Comerica Park. Our coverage starts at 1 and we'll take you throughout the afternoon till dinner time. That's the Alumni Showdown doubleheader tomorrow at 1 in the afternoon right here on Fox Sports Detroit. We'll mic up Mickey Redmond for that one. And Yuri Fisher. You'll be joining me, Darren Elliott at ice level, and John Keating on the Red Wing bench. We got it all covered for you. To Kaiser. A head-off Nyquist stick to center. Kendall. And what we've had already in this game, who knows what this finish will hold. As that goes off a stick from about 45 feet, so the face-off will come up to the right of Marek Mazonets.
You just sense there's a game-tying goal. The Red Wings said if they can establish some of that zone pressure. We saw it here in the third period a couple different times. One shift leads to another shift. And by the time you get to the third shift, if you're able to have that shift-over-shift momentum, chances are Zetterberg and the gang might be able to find the back of the net one more time here.
Wide edge for Nashville in face-offs. Oh, and Bertuzzi pleaded innocence, but Weber went down and delayed penalty to the Red Wings. Zetterberg will touch. As Bertuzzi feels shame.
Shaking his head either in disgust or in dismay. Either way, Mike Babcock's guys, the task just got tougher.
Red Wings Live comes your way after the game tonight. Yossi. Fisher. Weber to Yossi. Leg one on this side. Fisher in the slot. Got it now. Tap back to Weber. Yossi with a shot block. Helm. Will skate it out of trouble. Long shot in. He'll go in after to try to force the issue. Zonitz couldn't play it outside the trapezoid. So 1:30 to go, and Red Wings down a man here and down a goal. Fisher played it through to Hornquist. Back to Legwand. Weber's got it. Look out. Shot. Howard blocked that. Datsuk. Over there along with the Kaiser. Legwand's got it. Pinched there by Kronwall. Red Wings will have to force it here with a minute to go. Zetterberg left it. On goes Kronwall. Howard goes to the bench for an extra skater. Although it'll just even it up. So net empty for Detroit. Loose puck. Here comes Helm. Oh, and a save by Mazonets. He got a blocker on it. Datsuk's got it. Net empty Detroit. Puck to the corner for Yossi. Helm and Datsuk. Quincy over there. Smith and Zetterberg. 5 skaters aside, but net empty Detroit. And Weber will just play it down ice. Quincy's got it. A half minute to go in the third. Gets the puck back. Zetterberg trying to get through Gostad, who got a hold of him. Yossi at center. Off balance, shoots and scores.
They had a look as Helm came off the bench for the goaltender. And Mazanec with the blocker side. Shrug save. Right down the middle. Helm with a good play. Can't really. He made a good shot. Deflected a little bit. And the kid shrugged it off. Going to win this one.
So Nashville gets 6 goals. Gives them 95 for the season. Came in with 29th in offense. But they win this one by 2. As the Red Wings fall in regulation for just the 4th time on the road this season. 12-4-3 to remain with 45 points. Nashville gets their 2nd victory the past 7 games, and they win the series 2-0. Mike Fisher, big story tonight with a fight, a goal, and a couple of helpers in the 6-4 Predators win. So a lot more to come from Bridgestone Arena in Nashville.